nice out. Still working on Jack Black. In the last video, we got the notch in. So I know that there were a lot of you guys that were like, you can get away with a C notch or an underbed notch. You're right. And even if I had just left this down lower to keep it under the bed, it still would have been stronger, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. One thing I wish we had done differently is probably move these out to the corners a little more, but I'm just gonna leave them there for now. Just that way it would have been a little bit easier for shock placement. Again, not a huge deal. What I'm thinking about doing is getting this shock relocation kit from, I think it was QA1 maybe. It was like 64 bucks. And it has both lowers, both uppers, completely adjustable. So all you have to do is like weld the mounting point and then you can adjust it from there. And then I'll have both rear shocks off this back bar. And they'll probably be fairly vertical and we should be good there. But those aren't gonna show up for a little bit, so today what we're gonna do is just some like general maintenance, just some general upkeep. I'm gonna try to clean up the frame as best we can, knock as much of the rust and corrosion off of it, and then spray it with some undercoating, try and keep it fairly strong, because like I know in video, it looks like this thing's pretty rusted, and to a lot of you southern guys it is. But it's really just surface rust. Like if you see here where we cleaned it up for the notch, that's awesome, it's nice and strong. It's like right here, it's the factory undercoating starting to flake off, so we'll get that wire brushed, flat disc, whatever we have to do. He's probably gonna wanna torch these shock mounts off. I was gonna pop the rivets out, but he likes using that torch. And he's actually pretty good at it. If you guys can see these cuts, that's pretty dang clean for a torch. So I know this isn't gonna be the most exciting video in the world. Who knows, we might find some shenanigans to get into later, but it's something that has to get done, so I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. You can chime in, tell me what I'm doing wrong, like usual. So there isn't really much left to talk about. I guess let's just cut to the time lapse. Starting to make some pretty good progress. Got this side cleaned up pretty well. It's not 100% clean, but it's good enough to lay some coating on. And then just as a frame of reference, there's the side we just cleaned up, and there's what it did look like. So you can kind of see what I'm saying with it. It was just surface rust. Like, because this is exactly what that looked like. Still a couple spots where could still clean it up a little bit more, but it's a whole lot better. Definitely good enough to lay some undercoating on. Still have to clean up inside here and at least wire wheel it inside, knock off some of the big stuff so we can get the undercoating on all of the surfaces, and then we'll be good there. And then just gonna do the same thing over here. This back bar cleaned up pretty decently. This back side's definitely the worst of it. If you look around here to the front, it's a whole lot nicer. There's a whole lot less corrosion on it. But it's gonna be a whole lot better than it was for sure. Probably gonna unbolt this like center spare tire support, get that out of there, don't need that anymore. And we're only keeping this just to keep the back of the frame tied together. So we're definitely making progress. Hopefully in a little bit we can start laying down some of the undercoating. That's the more fun part. Doing all the wire wheeling and flap disking, that part kind of sucks. Sure. Might have to clean that bar off here. Alright, so this is just going to be the brake line bracket. Keep that out of the way. I looked right at it.
What?
I looked right at it. Oh yeah, let me get the side cutters, hold on. That's all clumpied up. He's trying to take my job. I guess I'm gonna be the torch guy now.
Good enough.
Alright, the top and sides of the frame are pretty much done, pretty much ready to get coated. Still have to take a wire brush to like the inside of the C channel and everything, dust off the underneath, and then should be good to start spraying some coating on it. I mean, it cleaned up pretty well. Got the spare tire like wire wheel sort of thing, whatever it's this. But it's pretty heavy. It's probably like a good 7 pounds or so. Thing that just sits in that cross member bolted up there. It's a whole lot heavier than I thought it would be. I left a lot of the factory undercoating on the side. Figured it's lasted this long and it's not flaking off anywhere, so we'll leave that and just go over it. He got the brake line bracket on, so we're good there. Once the axle's tilted ahead, this hose will have plenty of room. So I think we're just gonna clean up the rest of the frame real quick off camera, and then we'll probably get to actually spraying it. Excited to see how this thing looks once it's all sprayed. Should look pretty good. I think we will spray these crossbars, even though I'm gonna have to grind some of it back off once it's time to weld on the shock brackets. But might as well do it now just because I don't know when those will be in. And every little bit helps. We'll at least do around the welds and everything. And then probably cover up the gas tank just because it's nice and new. Needs to be cleaned up though. Making progress. All right, I think we're just about ready. We got pretty much all the rust knocked off that we can get to from up here. We're just gonna spray everything we can right now, and then next time we have the truck up on the hoist, we'll finish up the job and get everything from underneath. So hopefully we'll make sure everything's pretty much double covered. We're gonna shake them up and then spray them out. Hopefully this thing looks as good as I'm imagining when we're done. All right, we got the back half all undercoated. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, back in black.
Can live with it?
Yep.
Still drying a little bit, so it's...
Seems like nobody besides us will see it.
At least on camera, you can't tell how bad it was. And then, like I said earlier, we'll wait until next time it's up on the lift to do like the underside of the frame and Probably missed some spots under here.
Yeah. Gets up and take this grinder, the small one, with a big blade, cut the weld off of that bracket. I think we can take that right off.
Off of what bracket?
Off the axle, the shock bracket.
Oh yeah, yeah, those.
Grind the welds off.
Yeah. Just cut both of those off, clean them up a little bit. Whenever the new stuff shows up, get those welded on and get the shocks on, and then start tackling the front. And then after that, I think it's pretty much just testing tune, which sucks because we have to wait until April until a track opens. Might be able to do some street stuff a little bit before that. We'll see. I'm super happy with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time. Hopefully with some more suspension stuff. Gonna try and get the suspension brackets or the shock brackets welded in, get the new shocks on. We'll start on the front, but that's all future videos. See you guys.